All right, guys, I've been compiling from information from emails that I've received over the last few days, other messages and comments, and talks I've had with folks in various different industries all across the country, and even some outside the US. And I want to share this insider intel with you all. I want you guys to know what's going on, be aware, informed, and educated. If you have anything that you would like to add that could help the family and help inform the folks out there, the subscribers, the watchers, the viewers, and the community get prepared, please send me an email. Check the description below. My email is in the description. Do not fall for the scams in the comment section. I'm not trying to contact you in the comment section through WhatsApp. But my email address is in short supply on yt@gmail.com. So that's INSHORTSUPPLYONYT@gmail.com. And thank you all in advance for your kindness and willingness to help so many people in need. All right, now let's just get right into it. I want to share this with you guys. This first one says here that I saw a woman standing in line at the self-checkout in Walmart in Fort Myers, Florida, and saw her try and swipe 4 different credit cards. All were declined. And she ended up having to ask the self-checkout attendant to cancel her transaction before walking away empty-handed. That's sad and unfortunate. A lot of folks are facing the financial struggles and troubles and burdens of the economy and inflation and have turned to credit cards as their fallback plan and way out. And it's not a great plan, not one that I would employ, not one that I would rely on, but that's unfortunate. Number 2 here says that I used a website online called missingmoney.com, and it actually had my name listed for missing money from 5 years ago. I've initiated the claim to receive my unclaimed property. Thank you for sharing this website link with me, Kevin. Oh, okay. So I guess this is one of the members. And she spelled my name in all caps. Don't forget that, folks. All caps. If you're searching or if you're sharing or if you're trying to get anybody to find it or if you're watching it on a new device or trying to find my channel on a TV or something, it should pull up if you just search KEVIN in all caps. Odds are I'll be right there at the top, maybe number 2 behind Meet Kevin. And so, also YouTube gave me a handle. So you may be able to find me under Kevin 24/7. KEVIN 247, all one word. Or, as my wife would say, just look up Squirrel Tribe's husband. You'll find me there. Another one comes in from East Tennessee. It says here off 75, we are out of diesel fuel. Ouch. That's a growing problem. I saw diesel pumps at Quick Trip in Atlanta as we were leaving yesterday with bags on them. Next one here says, I live in Dallas, Texas with my wife and 2 children, and I'm currently out of work after being laid off by Lone Star Dedicated. I expected the diesel shortage to be a big problem for many other truck drivers. Well, you know what? That is actually, that's unfortunate to hear. We know that the trucking industry is facing some huge obstacles and some steep grades to climb. And so for those of you who don't know, I got a little bit of info for you for Lone Star. Lone Star Dedicated cut operations, and about 90 Texas company drivers lost their jobs, according to reports from earlier last month. The Lone Star Dedicated trucking company president and owner said that he was shutting down the trucking company, which used to haul refrigerated food nationwide. And he said this last month. Again, another impact to our food supply. And the company's nearly 90 drivers were notified that the carrier would be closing its doors after 12 years in business. According to FreightWaves.com, Lone Star Dedicated once had more than 150 drivers and hauled oil field equipment. But David Magarin, I believe that's how you say his name, the company's president and owner, said he was forced to downsize and pivot to pulling reefers because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And was quoted saying that at this point, I am just getting rid of a headache. And he said he just doesn't like what's coming down the pike. Now, this is something I had talked to you guys about in previous videos about these businesses and these business owners and getting to a breaking point where they say enough is enough. And he literally says it here. I'm getting rid of a headache. 12 years in business, and decided to shut down the company. Decided to shut the company down while it was still profitable, but noted the margins were getting thinner and thinner. See, these are the business owners looking at their balance sheets and addressing the situation and forecasting and making predictions. And it's, do we stop now while we're ahead? Do we cash out, or do we keep going, digging ourselves in a hole, ultimately putting the owner of the business into a bind down the road and still having to lay everybody off? And it says that with interest rates going up and the price of parts costing 3 times more and buying new equipment at today's higher prices, it was just outrageous. It's becoming more and more difficult to do business, especially in a huge cash hungry business like trucking. The former president and owner said that the main reason why he kept the company going as long as he did was because it provided jobs for a lot of people. But the recessed economy struggles ultimately forced his hand, and Lone Star Dedicated sent out emails notifying drivers that their fuel cards were going to be shut off and that the company would only reactivate the accounts as needed to deliver their loads, with reports that Lone Star Dedicated trucks were only fueling the miles they need and enough to have about a quarter tank of fuel when they got back to the yard. The diesel crisis, the diesel prices, all these impacts as a result of the pandemic, they're putting a heavy weight on the shoulder of these business owners. And again, this is why I choose to position myself in a business strategy that doesn't require too many moving parts, too many commodities, too many physical goods, too many points of failure, especially with the transportation and trucking industry and diesel fuel and things like that. I like the digital technology-based direction that businesses are going, and I want to use that as a way to protect my family personally and financially, and our business finances as well. Next one up here says, I am a retired veteran and have fought and served for my country, but still can't get any financial assistance and continue to get the runaround from government offices just to help me pay my bills, buy food and groceries, pay my rent, and maintain medical coverage. I only say this to say that the same government whom I risked my life for is instead sending our hard-earned tax dollars to Ukraine and other countries, with Ukraine approaching over $100 billion in addition to military aid. God help us all. I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, this is unreal. This is unbelievable. And the situation and position that we are being put in, let alone veterans. Thank you for your service. Hopefully, maybe we see some form of reprieve here soon. One more day, see what I'm saying? Next up says, I work for a large discount shopping chain and I'm a store manager. I was told by my boss that the store is preparing to close several locations and that I should prepare for my store to be shut down. But I was told not to tell anyone. See, so Lone Star Dedicated, they put it out, they put it on the table. But I'd be willing to bet that there's countless other companies and businesses, big and small, that are facing financial struggles, financial collapse, total shutdown, and being wiped out by this economy, by this administration, by the effects of the global economy and the Great Reset, that are going to keep it quiet and are going to blindside a lot of people, a lot of employees, a lot of workers, a lot of supply chains, a lot of other businesses that rely on these companies, and the banks and lenders that are on the hook for some of these loans that they have outstanding. It's going to be an interesting time starting 2023. I think we're going to see a huge turnover. Now, next up says, my hours have just been cut. Ouch. I live in Lakeland, Florida, just outside of Tampa, and work at a Dollar General part-time. That sucks. Control your income. Easier said than done. I get it. But you got to put yourself in a position where you can begin to control your income besides having someone else control it for you. Got to take the first steps, guys. Remember what I said, make that first dollar. Just make one. If you can make one, you can make two. And it grows from there. Next up says, I am a restaurant manager at a popular craft taco restaurant in Nashville, Tennessee, and we have converted to 100% cashless operations. Sign of the times, folks. This is the changes that our financial economic systems are seeing. No more cash. No more cash. We're going digital. We're going digital. We're going central bank digital currency. We're going crypto. Businesses are making changes, good, bad, or indifferent. This is happening. This is happening. Next one says, hello, Scott. He says, I work for Lowe's in Michigan. I think this was a comment. And I would like to see how our store performance will be in a year, especially as they push us to get people into credit cards, which I have no interest in doing. Also, how many Home Depot stores as well will close? That's a good question. I need to look and see if there are any Home Depot stores closing. I'm not sure if there have been any reports of that. I'm going to have to check that out. And I will say this. I worked retail when I was 16 or 17 years old. I actually worked at Best Buy. And pushing credit cards, and at the time we weren't pushing credit cards. We were pushing these PPPs, these product protection programs or whatever they were. There was a warranty program they were pushing. It's like a replacement or repair. It was cringy. It was cringy, to say the least. And today, trying to push credit cards on people, me personally, I hate it. When I go to check out, would you like to open a Lowe's card or a credit card for the store today and say, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in it. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't want the credit pull. Zero interest. But I don't want to get mad at the cashier for doing their job, but it is aggravating. It's annoying. Companies need to pay attention to this. This is hurting their customer satisfaction, in my opinion. So, but yeah, so this is a good question though. But for the folks out there, you got to be careful with the credit cards. Like I said, a lot of people are using them for backups and security and safety for everyday needs that if you don't have the money to pay for, then guess what? You're not going to have it later. And especially these store cards, because they typically have a much higher annual percentage rate, which means you will be paying more interest. And it will only continue to climb higher as the Fed Chair Jerome Powell continues to raise interest rates to fight inflation. So pay attention. Got another one here that says, an urgent warning coming from a longtime subscriber. Says there are a lot of changes coming to insurance and will result in major impacts with a report from California. Now this is interesting because I just put up a video day before yesterday, I believe, for a update for Florida, Southwest Florida, Hurricane Ian victims and insurance and how they're being affected. But first, I want to share this with you from a recent CNN share. It says, so stocks fell on a volatile day as Powell disappoints. It says CNN reported that U.S. stocks sank after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell suggested that more big interest rate hikes may be coming. Even though the Fed may slow the pace of those increases, that's raising fears about a possible recession next year. And it said that Powell conceded that the chances of a soft landing for the economy are lower now. Like, not going to happen. Crash. And added that it's proven to be more difficult than expected for the Fed to get a handle on inflation. At the time of reading this article, the Dow ended the day down more than 500 points. The S&P 500 sank another 2.5%, and the NASDAQ composite slid 3.4%. Now, this is some serious stuff here. The problem is that we're being fed, we're being gaslighted, and we're fed, some nonsense and some crap on a regular basis. Fearing a recession, come on, we're in a recession. Don't give me that crap. Don't gas people up and think that they haven't hit a recession until 2023. We're in a recession. Trust me. And if you think we're not, comment down below. Let's have this debate. But still, with that being said, discounts are still out there with stocks continuously dropping. But just how low will they go before they start to rebound? That's the number one question. And how long will it be before that happens? How much time do we have? Now, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average myself and continue to buy and continue to hold and basically never sell. Now, I understand that this is a boring investment strategy for some, but it works for me. And and it works for Warren Buffett too. So I guess it can't be too bad, right? All right. So an urgent warning coming from a longtime subscriber says there are a lot of changes coming to insurance and will result in major impacts with a report from California about insurance deductibles. The email said that for policies written by the state for fire insurance, the deductible can be 25% of the loss. Wow, that is huge. So to put that in perspective, a $100,000 loss claim could result in a homeowner being on the hook for a $25,000 deductible when fires are extremely common and prevalent in California. Now, let's be real here. The homes in California, California real estate, are so expensive. So odds are a fire damage claim will be far greater to repair. Plus, added costs for materials, goods, and labor will added strain because of diesel fuel shortages and AB5 in California. Thanks, Gavin Newsom. So realistically, a fire claim in California could be much, much higher if you think about it. So let's just say a $200,000 repair claim, insurance policy claim, for example, would have a $50,000 deductible. What? Are you can you imagine 50 grand? All right. So the subscriber said, I don't know what's going on, but it seems this is by design to wipe people out. I'd agree. In the homes that these folks work or in my opinion, the homes that these folks work so hard for, they're going to have to walk away from them, if they see some sort of damage that would put them in a position to have these outrageous deductibles. And if that were to happen, guess what? Who's going to come in? Who's going to step in? Institutional investors are going to come in and buy the distressed properties for pennies on the dollar and further building out their real estate portfolios to then rent out after the repairs have been done. This is a plan. This is a strategy, folks. This is a chess game, okay? It's not the move you see. It's the moves that are happening in the background. That's what we need to be concerned about. The email continued to say that we have always had natural disasters, and insurance historically has been reasonable to help people get reestablished. And what I'm seeing is a major change to the approach. I think there is a story here and much more to find. And she says that she will keep sharing her journey to get professional insurance and hopes to have more news this week, but is concerned and has low hope that she will be successful in securing a policy. She also said that her friends who are in healthcare are having no problems and everything is renewing like normal and no price increases either. I wonder why she's having such a problem. And she says she thinks it all depends on what line of work you're in. She says, take care. I hope your mom is feeling all better and Squirrel Tribe rocks. Well, yeah, Squirrel Tribe does rock. And I do appreciate that. Thank you. My mom, she is recovering. She is feeling better. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of an emergency yesterday. As we were leaving Atlanta, we ended up having to reroute to an emergency room visit. I think everybody's going to be fine, but thank you for that. I do appreciate that. And Nicholas sent me an email which said, I have been taking your words to heart. And I saw in one of your videos you mentioned low content books. Oh, yeah, for sure. He said that he isn't sure exactly what that is, but he would love to learn if it means generating extra income. He wrote, if you would be so kind as to respond when you can, it would be greatly appreciated. Keep up the great work. Well, that's the other thing, folks. Sometimes these emails, I'll respond through these videos. So make sure you're watching, make sure you're subscribed. But also, I don't want to just limit it to you. I want everybody to know. So I'll respond to this in a video so that everybody can take advantage of this opportunity. Low content books are a great opportunity. And another subscriber emailed and asked about diversified investing and the other fractional asset classes that I'm looking to get involved with. So these are attractive assets that have historically seen price appreciation, folks. These are opportunities to invest in multi-million-dollar assets for much smaller amounts. That's the fractional component, both giving you an opportunity to get in on these investments and not break the bank while doing it. That's the key. Sometimes investing can seem a little scary and daunting and worrying because it's so huge. But these fractional investment opportunities allow people to get in at any dollar amount. And these can be great ways to store wealth, generate great returns, and hedge against inflation, which we seriously need. You can also buy and sell shares on the secondary market and receive proceeds when the assets themselves sell. And it's truly an amazing opportunity that very few people know about. And keeping this investment opportunity exclusive will limit oversaturation and help keep profitability higher. So anybody really interested, just, come on over, join the group. Let's talk about it and let's expand on it. I think it's a great opportunity. If you would like, here's the other thing. If you guys would like me to make more videos like this, more insider intel updates, please drop a comment down below so I know that you're interested in having access to this information. And also, with the current economic climate, high prices and rapid inflation with higher interest rates to come, guaranteed, promise you. I'm going to continue preparing financially and continue working to tighten my own budget while investing in business opportunities. That's my plan. Growth assets, cash flow producing assets, and further building out my brand in alignment with profitable businesses that are continuing with heavy investing in product review, promotion, and affiliate sponsorships, digital products, technology that provide services and provide me with a great, steady passive income stream and helping to maintain during these rough economic times. Folks, this is not a means of bragging or anything like that. It's just sharing with you information so that you know that this is real and these opportunities really do exist. I do wish you all the best. I appreciate you watching. You guys take care. Be safe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.